I've got a quick question for you. What is your inner voice saying to yourself? And what are you saying to others about yourself? Just take a quick moment to think about that. So, what that inner voice is saying and how you speak to others about yourself is playing a direct role in what's showing up in your reality. So the events, the circumstances, and the people that are showing up in your life is linked to what your inner voice is saying about yourself. Because words and the things you speak have energy. So think about a magnet, right? So when you get a magnet out, it's going to attract all the metal that's around it. It's going to pull it in towards itself. So that's what's happening when you're speaking, or that inner voice is saying things that might not be serving you the best. So you might be saying in that inner voice of yours, oh, nothing's working, and you're feeling frustrated, and I'm pissed off, I can't get anything right, this is shit. You might be complaining about something, then you'll go and speak to a friend, and you'll start complaining to your friend, and then this loop just starts taking over. So we've got to work on our awareness in terms of being aware of what we're saying in that inner voice and what we're actually speaking out loud to friends and family. It's important to become aware of that. So, for instance, I want to share a story of mine. So, I don't know, it was probably a year and a bit ago. I was in a really good job that I really enjoyed. I was making really good money. And that pretty much ended suddenly. And I found myself getting all pissy and all moany about it. It's natural. It's natural to feel like that, when you're enjoying something and then it comes to an end. However, I was sitting in that for too long, and I was, speaking to my friends and people around me about, I'm so annoyed I don't have this job anymore. I really liked it. And, I was just hanging on to it and hoping that, somehow I'd be able to get back into the same job again. And that wasn't happening. So I realized, because of my awareness, I became aware that I wasn't really helping myself, putting all my intention to something that wasn't anymore. And, luckily I had, I'd done a casual job, back maybe 4 years ago. And I remembered that I had that. So I got into that. What I found was when I got back into that, I was looking at the money and I was looking at the stuff I was doing. And I was still having that inner voice and that chatter to my friends that, it was like, it's not as good as the other job I was doing. I'm not making as much money. So you can see the pattern that was forming. So again, I had to wake up to that. And I did. And I started to flip the switch. Can't even get that right. Flip the switch. And I started going, well, if I didn't have this job that I have right now, I'd be screwed. So I'm grateful that I had something to fall back on. And I started realizing, the people that I was working with, I was really enjoying working with them, and I was having a good time and I was having fun. So I started focusing on that, and I forgot about the money, and I started to realize that I was enjoying what I was doing more, just because partly because I was thinking about it differently. We spoke about that in the video yesterday, your thoughts. So go check that out if you haven't. Also, though, the way that I was speaking about myself and speaking about, what was happening had started to shift. And then I started to go, right, I'm going to keep doing that. And I started speaking into existence what I wanted, because I wanted to move up the ranks in this new job, and I wanted to do it quickly. And I started telling myself that with my inner voice, and then I started telling people around me, like, you watch, this is going to happen, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get promotions, and I'm going to get paid more, I'm going to get an advancement in my payment. And lo and behold, that stuff started happening. And I started saying, all these opportunities are coming my way, like good things are coming my way, big opportunities, big money, all these things are coming my way. And I just kept saying those sort of things to myself every day and every morning, and started speaking to myself in a completely different way, a really positive way. So then that magnet that I was talking about earlier, I started to pull in all these positive outcomes because of the way I was thinking and the way that I was speaking. I was thinking and speaking things into existence, because it's all about what you focus on and where your attention goes and where your energy goes. You'll start to create that, and that'll start to come into your life. And that's exactly what was happening. And I also knew that this job at some point that I was doing would probably slow down a bit. But in the back, I was always going, it doesn't matter. There's going to be a new opportunity and something is going to come my way. And I spoke to a guy that I was working with. It was probably like when I first got back into this job. And he was talking about a new job that was coming up at the end of the year. So, it was a year away. But, that little seed was planted. And I said, oh, yeah, let me know how it's going. And, a few weeks later, well, not a few weeks later, I meant to say, I don't know what I meant to say. I've forgotten. It happens. Basically, the seed was planted, that he was getting into another job, which was, a little bit more better pay, a little bit more, there would be some more stability within the job. And just recently he started that, and I spoke to him, and he gave me the details for it. So I rang up, went for an interview, got the job, and I'm starting tomorrow. It was easy. It all flowed and it happened easy. And that's all just because of the way I was thinking and what I was saying and how I was speaking it into existence. So what's going to help you guys, if you're struggling, like, you might be like, well, how do I do that? I've got to work on becoming more aware of self. And something that really helped me do that was meditation, yoga, even going to the gym. But the main ones was definitely yoga and meditation. Because in meditation and in yoga, especially meditation, like, you're sitting still, and you gotta sit with yourself, and you got to go through your thoughts. And what will start to happening is the more you do it, and the more consistent you are with it, you'll start to become aware of your thoughts. And from that'll stem into you becoming more aware of that inner voice that's going on, and also the way that you speak to people. So that's one way that you can start to help heighten your awareness. So that's going to help you be able to, throughout the day, catch that inner voice and catch the way that you speak to people. And then you'll be able to start to shift that and start to create things in your life that you want to. Okay, so I hope this video helped. If it did, beautiful, fantastic. If it didn't, that's okay, it's not for you. Just keep showing up, keep doing the work, and eventually it's going to happen. Peace and love, guys. Have a good one.